Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel Viral Skill 247. My name is Henry Waters, and if this is your first time of watching my video, please hit the red subscription button down below so when I release new videos, you'll be the first to see it. Okay, in today's channel I'm going to be teaching you how to make use of PayPal Smart Button in server-side integration using PHP. In this, you learn how to capture customers transaction details and which will be inserted in your database. Okay, so if you want to learn new thing today, stick to the end of this video, and if you love what you are going to see, please make sure you like and make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you will get to learn. Okay, let's get to it. Alright, I'll be showing you my starter files in this tutorial. What I have here is my CSS folder where I have my style.css, my product folder where I have the images for the transaction. Alright, this is my shop files folder where I have my database folder where I did my connection to the database. My vendor, this vendor is gotten from after installing Composer and also downloading it. This is really used by PayPal to capture and also do an authentication for you. Alright, before the end of this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how you can be able to get this folder. Obviously, what you need to do is just to download installer and also run a PHP command, which is this. Alright, I might teach you how to get that. Then these are the rest of the files. This is my index.php, which is my home page. That is this, okay? And my sources page, this is where you'll be redirected once you have made a successful payment. Okay, having said that, let's dive into our code right away. Okay, in case you don't know how to connect your database, this is a sample script where you can look at. I will explain them. I define the variable name server name and give it an index name of localhost. The username is root and my password here is empty. My database name, variable name is what? You can give yours any name you want. Mine is Viral Skill. Okay, this line of code is where I created my connection. I make use of object-oriented programming, okay, and passed all these variables in the brackets, okay. And here I checked my connection connect error. This connect error is a function that returns the error description from the last connection error if there is any. So if there's a connection error with this line of code will run, but if it connected properly, nothing will happen. Okay. Alright, before I forget, after the end of this tutorial, we'll run our test using our online server because we don't have a secured SSL certificate in our local host or our local browser. We'll be doing that online, okay? I might make a different tutorial on how to activate SSL certificates in our local host, but for the course of this tutorial, we'll be running our tests online, okay, using our cPanel where we have a much well secured SSL. Alright, okay, we'll head over to our index.php. Here we are going to set up the PayPal development environment, add the PayPal JavaScript ADK to our web page, and also render the smart payment button to a container on our web page. We'll head over to our browser. Here we'll type in developer.paypal.com/docs/checkout/integrate. Okay, once you are done with that, we'll scroll down where we are going to copy the script that we'll be needing for this tutorial. Okay, when you head over to render.button, you just copy out this script. Okay, we'll be needing that. Copy that. And right here we just paste it. Okay. Here we'll be adding our Sandbox client ID. If you don't know how to get your Sandbox client ID, do so by watching my previous videos on PayPal Sandbox accounts. Okay, this is my Sandbox client ID. Alright, paste it over that. Then in order to specify the currency we'll be needing, we'll add this currency equal to USD in capital letters. Okay, next thing we'll do is set up the container element for the button. Head over there, just copy this. Alright, you can put it on top. Save that. Alright. So what else do we do? We are going to scroll down and copy this code to set up the transaction. Okay, maybe we'll get this is a better one. Okay, this is what we'll be needing to capture the transaction. Right, paste it just before the end of body tag. Right, changes that we need to do here is just come over here to the value, the amount we'll be needing to receive from the customer according to this index page. The amount we have here is $350. Okay, so we can add 350 just there. Alright, what other changes do we need to do? Okay, on this unapproved function, this is what happens once the transaction is successful. We won't be needing this. I want if the transaction was successful, will be redirected to another page. Okay, we'll be redirected to another page. We don't need this. Alright, so add a new code, window dot location. Alright, shop files / transaction completed .php. Then we are going to pass. We'll be passing an order ID in that URL. Alright, I'm going to pass it. Data order ID. Alright, once the successful payment is made, okay, the user's details will be redirected to the transaction completed.php file. Which is this. Okay, this is where the user will be redirected to. I'm going to save that. Okay, remember this shop files is this folder right here. Okay, and this is the transaction completed PHP. We haven't written anything there yet. Alright, so I think we are done with the index page. Let me refresh this. Alright, it's looking good. As you can see, the PayPal smart button showing up here. Alright, okay, now we'll head over to our paper-client.php. Okay, for the paper-client.php file, what we'll do here is head over to our browser. Alright, type in developer.paypal.com/docs/checkout. Okay, once you have done that, click on reference. After that, click on call others API from your server. Click on this. Then the next thing you do, you click on setup server-side SDK. Click on that. Then you scroll down to here. Okay, what we need is this code. We are going to copy this, all right, then paste it here. Okay, this is what we need here. All right, the only changes we're going to do with this code is we're going to add our paper sandbox client ID. If you don't know how to get this, watch my previous videos. You will learn how to get this from your sandbox account. Okay, copy this, paste it there. Sorry. Okay, then we're going to copy our client secret ID. Copy that. You get all these from your sandbox account from paper. All right, is there any other thing we need to do here? Nothing. All right, this sandbox environment, you use this for testing purposes. If you want to go live, okay, you just have to replace this line of code. Just replace it with production environment. That's what you write here. Okay, if you want to go live, you will replace this sandbox with production environment as well, right? Replace sandbox environment to production environment. All right, okay, and you save that. Then the more tricky file here is the transaction completed. This is where we will be doing our major coding. Okay, just stay with me, guys. Under this transaction-completed.php file, what we'll do, head over to our browser, developer.paper.com/docs/checkout/reference/-integration. When you get to this page, click on get transaction details. These are the scripts we'll be needing for that PHP file. Okay, once you have done that, you scroll down. This is the script that we'll be needing. All right, you click on copy, come back, then paste it here. All right, the first section here integrates Paper Software Development Kit SDK, which is the collection of tools your server would use to retrieve transaction details from paper, which is what you'll be needing. This here. All right, okay, then here there's a function called getOrder, and it's passed with an variable order ID. Then the second section here that has a variable client and a response. Okay, here we'll incorporate the client from the paper client class. Some of those details are specific to your store, which will be used to ensure that some of those details are authorized. And there is also a response variable, which is this, okay, which will draw and request those details for the paper transaction. Then the client variable here will contain details for your store, okay, and response variable likewise will contain instructions for requesting all the details based on your customer ID. All right, now in order to capture the details we need from paper, we won't be needing this code right here. Okay, I'm going to delete that. We won't be needing that. All right, there will be a different variable according to what your store wants to achieve. Capture the transaction details. PayPal has already provided some parameters which we can get. These are all the parameters we need in order to capture that. Okay, in order to get your transaction-details.php, what I mean, in order to these parameters are given by paper. I'm going to still show you how I got it and how I personalize mine. Okay. All right. The next thing we'll do for this tutorial, based on here, the parameters we needing from paper once a customer makes a transaction will be his or her order ID, the customer email, their name, and their full addresses. Okay, this is where we'll be doing that. All right. Well, I'll give it the company name of transaction details. All right. Okay, I'm going to specify the information I want from the transaction details. All right, the variable information. But like I said before, I'll be needing the order ID. All right, I'll need the email, name, and also address. Okay, so variable response, then result, then ID. Okay, next is email. Need email, result. Okay, then payer email. Don't worry, I will show you how I got these stuff. Okay, this payer, going to the transaction detail parameter provided by PayPal. This payer is right here. Okay, the payer is the customer that made the payment, and as I'm passing this sign, what it does, it is used, this hyphen then greater than sign, it is used to access an instant property. Okay, it will access this payer. Under this payer, it will get their email address. All right, which is this. Then the next parameter I will need from paper is the customer's name. I'll give it a variable name of name. Response, result. Excuse me. Then let's head back. Where can we get the name? We can get the name here, but I want to get the full name. Okay, we'll go over to purchase units. Okay, this is where we have the data for all the purchase units, all the details entered by the customer. And under purchase units, we'll have shipping. Under shipping addresses, we'll have the customer's name as well. Okay, we can get the name here. All right, so under purchase units, there will be an array. Okay, that purchase underscore units. Let me check that. Yes, underscore units, I'm right. Then an array, this 0 means that I need the first data from paper. Okay, under that, then shipping, then name. Okay, let's head back. Purchase unit, shipping, name. Under name, I need the full name. All right, not this name, I need the full name, full underscore name. All right, the last thing we'll be needing from the transaction is the address of the customer. Okay, variable address. Okay, and just copy this, paste it here, change this to address. Right, response result purchase unit address. All right, I think we're good to go. This address have a lot of information in it. Okay, it has address line 1, address admin underscore area 2, admin underscore area 1, postal code, country code, and our objective is to insert this to our database. So we need to access them separately and concatenate them together so we can be able to insert to our database. We cannot insert an object class in our database. Okay, so we need to do it separately, then concatenate them, then insert them as a string. All right, so for that, first one we need is address line 1. All right, address line 1, address underscore line underscore 1. All right, second one, admin area 2, copy that, admin, let's change this, underscore area underscore 2. All right, admin area 1. Then postal code, underscore code. Okay, sorry, we need to change the variable name so we don't run into trouble. So give this address 1, address 2, address 3, address 4. Okay, then it will be address 5. Address 5. Postal code, what is, we need the country code. All right, country code, country underscore code. Then to get all the whole address together, give a new variable name. Let's call it full name, full address, sorry, full address. All right, so address 1, this is what is called concatenation. All right, address 1, then sorry, give a space, put a comma, then concatenate that to address 2. All right, address 4. All right, I'm passing a string of commas in order to separate each and every one of those addresses. Address 5, then semicolon to close that. All right. Let's look our syntax to be sure that we didn't have any error in our code. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. All right. Okay, the next thing we do here is to insert details. To our database. All right, we're going to include our database connection. Database folder under db.php. All right, make sure you are fetching that from the right directory. Okay, this include function, what it does is it gets the database connection PHP scripts. Okay, it includes it there. That's what this function does. All right. Before we insert the details in our database, there's something that I omitted. I need over here, I need to include the paper client PHP script. I need to include this over here. So I'll use require so the paper .php. Okay. I also need to get the order variable which will be inserting in our database. This order, we'll need to get it, okay, using get order. Get order is a PHP super global variable which is used to collect data. All right, so the variable order id, use the get order super global variable. Order. Okay, this index name order id, this will fetch this order id, whatever the order id that is being passed here. This is fetch it from our home page. Once it is being redirected to transaction-completed PHP, that is where we get this order id. Okay, just in case you are confused, that is what I omitted earlier. All right, okay, let's continue with inserting our files, our data, to our database. In order to insert the transaction details, all these variables to our database, I'm making use of prepared statement. This is one of the most secured way to insert data in our database. This tends to prevent SQL injections. Okay, but before then, I will show you my database, how it is being set up. Okay, this is my database name, PREREQUISITE, as stated in my database file. Okay, then under that, my table is customer underscore detail. This is what I have in my table: the name, email, order ID, and the address. Okay, I'm sure you must have known how to create this. All right. Okay, using prepare statements, we'll prepare and bind. That's what I'll be doing here. All right. Okay, guys, it's very advisable to use prepare statements in order to prevent SQL injection. So we'll insert into our table name. What is our table name? Our table name is customer underscore details. All right, customer underscore details. All right, what are we inserting? We'll be inserting name, email, order ID, and address accordingly. Name, email, order ID, address. Then what values? Our values will be question mark. This question mark represents string. Okay. Where is the string? Then we're going to bind. We'll bind our parameter using bind underscore param function. So this SSS represents string, meaning that all our variables that will be inserted into this database are all strings. Okay. Remember, it has to be accordingly with this. So the variable has to be accordingly to be name, email, order ID. Then the address will be full address. And we add that with a semicolon. Okay, we're going to execute our statement now. Execute function. Okay. Using an if statement, if echo there was a problem on your code. In case if there's an error, we'll debug using my SQL underscore error function, my SQLi. Then we'll pass the connection variable. So, else header location. All right, okay. This statement means if this condition is not, this exclamation mark means is not, if this statement didn't execute, that if it was not inserted into the customer underscore details table, run this code. That's what it means. Okay. Then else, so if it was inserted properly, then redirect to this location, success page, redirect us to this our success page. That is what it means. Okay, redirect to this success page. All right, if we go down, we don't need all these comments. If we go down, okay, paper say replace with order ID. Okay, we're going to replace this order ID. Our order ID is what? It's a variable. This. We're going to replace it there. Arch order ID. Alright, this is looking good. This is looking good. For best practice, I'm going to close my statement using a close function. Okay, and also close my database connection using same close function. Okay, we are good. Alright, for this transaction -details, all these parameters are being provided by PayPal, although I customize mine. If you need mine, type in the comment section, I need your transaction.php. I will find a way and get it to you. Okay, and if you have learned something new today, don't hesitate to subscribe to this channel. Hit that red subscription button. That will encourage me to release more awesome videos. Okay, then next thing we are going to do, okay, I'm also going to leave in the description section the URL address where you can get the PayPal transaction details. All right. Okay, we're going to make our online payment. We are online, live and direct, and this is PayPal Smart Button server-side integration using SDK PHP. We are going to test our scripts. Okay, this is cPanel. These are the files we had. I've already transferred that using FileZilla. Okay, this is my database. As you can see, under customer_details table, we have no entry yet. Once we make our payment, we know whether if our customer details is being captured and also successfully inserted to our database. Okay. All right. Before I forget, please make sure you make changes to these values once you go online, because it might not be the same. cPanel won't allow you to have an empty password. All right. Make sure you make changes to that. Okay. All right. Before we make our payments, I'll be sure to show you my balance in my PayPal Sandbox business account. This is what I have here. This is $6,542.54. Once we make our payments, we'll check if there will be changes to this to know whether actually our code worked out as planned. All right, we are going to make our payments right away. Okay, I'll be making use of my PayPal Sandbox personal account details to make these payments. All right, so click on PayPal. Click on that and allow it to load. Okay, I'll be logging in with my PayPal personal account detail. I'll get my password, which is here. If you don't know how I got all these details, please do so by watching my previous videos on how to create Sandbox accounts and working test cards. You can watch my previous video on that. So click on login. All right, it's coming up. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share it if you love it. Share it to your friends, and most especially don't forget to hit the red subscription button if you learned a new thing. Okay, we have logged in successfully. All right, this is $350. That is the amount we'll be making. So I'll click on pay now. All right, we are being redirected. Wonderful. You have successfully made your payment. That means our script is working fine. Guys, if you learned a new thing, please don't forget to hit the red subscription button. Like this video. If you have any question, leave that in the comment section. I will attend to that. Okay. Alright, I'm going to head over to my Sandbox business account and refresh this to know whether actually our payment reflected in our PayPal balance. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this and wait for it to load. Okay, it's loading. This might take some time, but we are going to wait for it. All right. Okay, payment from Henry Waters. This is $350. That means our payment was successful. Okay, our payment was successful. All right, we can as well see more, see what we have there. Click on that. To check our activities. But while we wait for it, let's move into our database and check if we really captured our transaction details. Okay, if that was inserted to our database successfully. So I'm going to click on customer details. Click on that again. Yes, as we can see, our inputs were captured from PayPal. Order ID is 76, address is First Main Street, St. John, CA, blah blah blah, and all that. So our aim was successful. We got our transaction details inserted to our database, which is wonderful. Okay, as you can see, this is all the activities, the payment activities. This is the amount we made recently, and with a charge of $10.45 we are charged by PayPal. This is what we have in our balance now. This is what we had previously. That means these payments, this code and all that worked as expected. All right. Okay, guys, I hope you have learned something new today. Alright, if you have learned something new today, write I have learned something new today on this comment section. If you have a question or if you run into any trouble, please do so. Leave a question for me in the comment section. I must attend to it. I will attend to it and I will see that you are being corrected. Okay, once again, don't forget to subscribe and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.